A terminally ill man asks his estranged daughter to dance with him one last time, just like they did when she was a little girl. Akua, come home, my child. I have one last request. She hesitated. For years, she had refused to return to him, her heart hardened by memories of betrayal and harsh words that had passed between them. He had never asked for forgiveness, and neither had she. But now, with his days numbered, the call was like a spell, pulling her back to the home she had long abandoned. Akua had grown up in a small village where the rhythm of life was shaped by the changing seasons. Her father, Kwaku, was a respected elder, a man who had once been a powerful figure in their community. His words were law, his temper fierce but often just. Yet, when it came to his daughter, there was a silence that spoke louder than any argument. They had once danced together under the canopy of the sky, her small feet stepping in time with his as he hummed their traditional song. But those days had slipped away, much like the soil that drifted through the cracks in their home. Years passed. Akua had left the village, seeking her fortune in the city, but her heart remained heavy with memories of her father's harsh treatment. He had demanded things of her that were too much for a young girl, never once showing her the love she needed. It wasn't until much later that she discovered the truth about her mother's death and how Kwaku had not been there to protect her. The stories in her head, the anger she carried, weighed down her soul. Akua couldn't forgive him, and she couldn't forget the bitter words they had exchanged before she left. Now, the once mighty Kwaku lay on his deathbed, his body frail and weak. The village whispered about the man who had once ruled with an iron fist, now begging for reconciliation with his daughter. But Akua was torn. She had built a life without him, had learned to rely on herself. What was this request? What did he expect from her now that he was nearing the end of his life? Her feet carried her back to the village, though her heart was reluctant. The night she arrived, the air was thick with tension, as if even the earth was holding its breath. She stepped into the house that once felt like home, now foreign and filled with shadows of the past. There, in the dim light of the single lantern, stood Kwaku, frail but still proud. He was seated on a mat, a place once filled with his commanding presence. His eyes met hers, full of regret and longing. "Akua," he whispered, "there is one last thing I ask of you. Do you remember how we danced when you were a little girl? Will you dance with me again?" The room fell silent. The ghosts of their past hung heavily in the air. As Akua stepped forward, memories of their shared moments flooded her heart. She could see herself as a child, her small hands clasped in her father's strong grip. She could hear the soft hum of the song they had danced to, the one that had always brought them peace. But now, as she took her father's frail hands in hers, the weight of years of unresolved pain pressed on her chest. This was no longer a dance of joy. It was a dance of reckoning. Kwaku's voice, weak yet full of emotion, broke the silence. "I have been harsh, my child. I know that now. I've spent my life trying to be a man that I thought the world wanted. But in doing so, I failed you. I failed your mother. I failed us all." Akua's heart swelled with a mix of anger and sorrow. Was this enough? Was this what she had needed all these years? She had come to hate him for his failure as a father, for his unspoken wounds that had left her to fend for herself. But now, in this moment, with the music surrounding them, she could feel something else stirring deep within her. As they moved, slow and careful, Kwaku continued, his voice breaking. "I never told you the truth. I never told you how much I loved you, how much I regretted pushing you away. Your mother, I never knew how to love her the way she deserved. I thought I could give you everything by making you strong, by teaching you the ways of the world. But in doing so, I kept the most important thing from you, my love." Tears welled up in Akua's eyes. the walls she had so carefully constructed around her heart beginning to crumble. She had never known that the man who had hurt her so deeply was carrying a burden of his own, one that had never been spoken of. He had been a man of pride, of strength, but also a man of great pain. With each step they took, their wounds began to heal, not through words alone, but through the act of dancing together once more. Akua could feel the warmth of their past, the joy that had once been theirs, flowing back into the rhythm of the dance. As the dance continued, time seemed to stand still. The floor beneath them no longer felt cold, and the room no longer seemed so filled with shadows. There, in each movement, they were both letting go of years of pain. Akua's heart, once heavy with resentment, began to feel lighter. The night stretched on, the music filling the air as Akua finally spoke the words she had kept inside for so long. I have carried this anger, Father. I've carried the weight of your absence, of your silence. But I see now that you were never truly absent. You were just lost in your own pain. Kwaku's eyes softened, and for the first time, he looked at her not as a father trying to control his daughter, but as a man who was asking for forgiveness. I never wanted you to feel that way, my child. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be the father you deserved, but I was too proud, too stubborn. The dance came to a slow, tender end. In the quiet that followed, Akua felt something shift deep within her. She had come to the house expecting to find closure, expecting to hear apologies and truths, but what she had found was something even more powerful, the chance to forgive and the chance to heal. As they stood there, wrapped in the silence of their shared moment, Akua looked into her father's eyes. I forgive you, Father. I forgive you even though you weren't perfect. But in your imperfection, you were human, and I see that now. Kwaku smiled, tears streaking down his face. Thank you, my daughter. You've given me peace. As the dance ended, Akua felt the warmth of forgiveness wash over her. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more captivating stories. Stay tuned for more powerful and emotional tales like this.